Welcome to this episode of Inside Stories by Anu in partnership with the Chennai Angels.
I brought in a Maersk chief technology officer who was one of my friends. Actually, we had a meeting with them. This is for marine drives for the ships, whether we can have hybrid, and also for the tugboats. They are open to observe and learn things.
And also they are very open to the use cases.
That's a double-sided sword.
Okay.
Yeah, where I want to be, I need to know a bit. But there is the fact that there is flexibility and that you are willing to touch multiple white spaces available
and evaluate.
Is the good sign. But not prioritizing a few of them may lead us to a point that we are
spread too thin.
Yeah, we are juggling with too many things.
Exactly.
I think they've retained that composure.
I think it's a fine balance between focus and width.
Correct.
Isn't it? So if you're too focused, you might miss out on opportunity. If you're too wide, you might lose out on focus and start drifting.
The readiness from each of them to look at it in the context of we are evolving. We may have to experiment with some white spaces, but we have to keep the core going.
Core business going.
We've been successful.
Basically, they should understand it is a basically, in principle, it's a technology R&D company in automobile space, which is actually work along with IC engines. The EV is actually like replacing the IC engines. Whereas here, they bring in technology which will work along with IC engines.
We are in a situation where there are not many of you shouting from rooftops that we have the solution. Now, everybody is following an electric path.
Correct.
You are saying this is a different path. So sometimes you wonder whether you're going in the right road because everybody is coming in the opposite direction. So this whole context is what is internalization. Because in the early stage, when you are discovering something and you have discovered something, you are alone in your market development. Normally, I mean, I come from a technology industry and we used to say competition is coming on board. And when competition comes on board, every time competition has come on board, it's really expanded the market. So I think to that extent, since you are a lone voice for a while, it is taking time. To do a few things, I would say the milestones would have been much faster. If you had 2-3 other people getting down and saying, hey, hybrid is the way to go. They are saying hybrid is the way to go, but in 4-wheelers.
Yeah, but for cars. Not many people are talking about it. In fact, when I was trying to do the research, hybrid, there is one coming from Hero Honda sometime later. You know, but there isn't much talk about it. I think Kawasaki came up with one.
They are planning to.
Yeah.
Actually, that's where one of the areas where been telling them to focus on to get into the European markets, where Kawasaki is planning to hit it big. So, develop pattern which is exactly suitable for the EU market. So they are working on this. See, as far as the two-wheeler industry is concerned, we are going to hit, the current production is around 21 millions per annum of two-wheelers. This is growing at 8 to 10% also. So we are expecting that 50% will move towards EV in the next 4 to 5 years. So the remaining 30 to 40% is the ripe target market
for
which is available for us.
Yeah.
So actually we are sitting on a huge market, and the advantage of being an early mover, plus already we have a patent.
See, fundamentally what happens is when you look at composition of these youngsters, you have a bunch of techies. We call them techies for want of a better word. You need somebody who comes back and says, hey, I'm not worried about all this. I'm worried about how I can sell it. How does each one complement and supplement each other? You need that one salesman there. That is the context which perhaps we are seeing today,
right.
which I won't call it a gap, but I think there's definitely something that needs to be addressed.
And needs to be bolstered, because ultimately when the rubber hits the road, that's where
it is. I mean, so coming from that, I mean, coming from being a salesman all my life, I basically believe that I am missing.
So now what do you envision in the future for Blaer Motors?
No, I would basically believe that the focus that they have had in the context of creating a hybrid two-wheeler and associated vehicles, I mean three-wheelers and so on, I basically believe that they would definitely be in a position to take to pole position in terms of the technology. Now, how much it converts into number of vehicles on the road, which will be the yardstick that future investors will definitely look at and so on, is something that we have to work on. But distinctly in the stated space, there could definitely be a very clear opportunity. There is a pole position free, and that pole position will be occupied by them. I mean, all they have to do is to stay the course and make sure that they are also connecting up to the marketplace, because you cannot be absent in the market and have something of your own. I mean, somebody has to.
They have to know it's there.
Yes.
Yes.
It is there. So that is the one context that I would believe. And associated with this, what happens is that given their technology mindset and the space that they are in, I'm sure there would be a whole lot of secondary opportunities that may evolve on the same context in terms of mobility. I would say mobility solutions, which are green mobility, is the focus. In that green mobility solutions, there could be newer nuances of solutions that can come in place.
One direction where they can move on, and which you have been advocating, is it not only be a pure technology company where your the thing is on royalty fees, but also get into contract manufacturing, because they have the technology to develop the complete control system, and also to move little backwards and get into the complete powertrain as far as the electrical is concerned, including the generator, battery and the powertrain. All this put together, they can integrate and give it as a turnkey. So for this, they have to become from a technology company to move towards contract manufacturing or a manufacturing player.
Yeah.
That's where the real big the thing is there. So initially, we want them to be successful in whatever focus they have made it. So once they do it, probably the natural progression will be to get into this complete powertrain on hybrid. And we'll see how they progress on the manufacturing systems. Then we'll take it to the next level.
Yeah. Certainly a very exciting journey ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.